Hey everyone, so welcome to my channel, and I am in Costa Rica. I have landed. I'm in San Jose, the capital. I posted not too long ago that I booked an EF ultimate break trip pretty spontaneously, one to Costa Rica and then another one following a few days after this one to Ecuador and the Galapagos Islands. And it is crazy that I am here. So the way it worked out, I actually have my own room today, which I'm very happy about. I'm pretty tired. I took a red-eye flight. So we're meeting in like 2 hours to just kind of go over the plan for tomorrow, and today's just kind of like a day to let everyone fly in and kind of settle. And I was looking at the schedule and what we're getting up to, and it just sounds really exciting. Lots of national parks, lots of water activities, and I'm a Pisces. I love water, so doing kayaking, going to hot springs, water rafting, just like waterfalls, all different types of natural water activities, and also ziplining. Ziplining is like my favorite activity to do when I go on vacations like this. So yeah, so I'm gonna show you guys my room and my view. All right everyone, so I'm just staying at a Holiday Inn in downtown San Jose. So this room is meant for 2 people, but the way it worked out, I got my own room. We have just the 2 beds. Not sure which one I'll take yet because I have options. And I just decided to bring my iPad. So this is the view. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Just a little cloudy and rainy, but humid. So that is the room. And yeah, just we'll see what I get up to next. So the next day we ended up going on a pineapple tour, which I thought was really fun. We went on this giant open air truck, and it was just our tour group, and we went to this pineapple farm where they just have fields and fields of endless pineapple. And as you can see, they grow from the ground, so those spiky grassy leaves, those are the pineapples. I didn't know, but pineapples are originally from Brazil. So that is one fun fact. And we got to see the different life stages of pineapples, from little itty bitty baby ones to full grown pineapples. And we eventually also got to walk around and pick our own pineapples as well. And our tour guide was a really funny guy. He made lots of jokes, and the way that he cuts pineapples, you can tell he just has it down. They use machetes often in Costa Rica, but they get the job done. As you can see, he cuts the pineapple in mere seconds. And this pineapple, or the pineapples in general that we had on this farm, were the most juiciest, yummiest pineapples I've ever had. Hey everyone, so it is the first full day of my tour here with EF in Costa Rica, and I am in the next destination. So I'm looking at the map, and we're in the Arenal region, which is kind of like the northwest part of Costa Rica. And definitely San Jose is the capital, and that's where we were the first night and where we're gonna end our tour. But now we're kind of more in like the jungly area. It's more wilderness and nature, and everyone's been liking it here. And it's just been a lot of fun. So I got some footage throughout the day. We first started out by going on, well, first off, we had a couple of hours on the bus to get from San Jose to this Arenal region. And then we went on a pineapple tour. We did that, and then we went and had lunch. We got to walk around as well. They had the little waterfall. They had a cute little doggy walking around. And then afterwards, we went to a lake and went kayaking. I did not take my phone, so I have no footage from the kayaking because I was too paranoid to bring my phone with me. I didn't want to get it wet. I didn't have any special case for it. But I also just didn't want to lose it because I just didn't want to play that game. And funny enough, there was somebody who lost their phone and they don't have it. The kayak they were in, it flipped. It had a waterproof case but no strap, and he just let go of the phone during the process of the kayak flipping, and the phone sank. So that really sucks. So that's exactly why I didn't bring my phone. Hopefully he can get that resolved. And yeah, and then afterwards we got to this hotel, which it's pretty much the same kind of, I can show you a little bit, but it's the same setup as my other one. I have 2 beds for me, and I'm not complaining about that, to be honest. I I love these types of tours, but they can be exhausting, both like in every way. And for me being an introvert and the fact that I'm doing 2 of these trips back to back, I really like that alone time and being able to just know that I have a good night's sleep, or at least you're not having somebody come in the middle of the night. And I just like having my little space for myself. So the fact that I got my own room, usually you have to pay extra, but just the way it worked out with the number of people and everything, I just get my own room, so I'm really happy about that. This is the end of the first full day, end of this technically second day, because yesterday was a travel day, and tomorrow we're going whitewater rafting, and then a chocolate tour, and then hot springs. That's kind of the update, and I'll just see you in the next clip. So the next day we went on a chocolate tour, and this is how the chocolate beans or plant looks like up in that tree. And from there we learned the process of how chocolate is made.
The next step is fermentation. What we're gonna do is take out the beans from the cacao, put it inside one bucket, and let it ferment it around 1 week or 8 days, something like that. It's gonna be bitter. That's why I recommend you just try a small piece.
It definitely has that chocolate flavor. It's really bitter.
You already have?
Yeah, I mean, it's not good.
This is hot, be careful, but you can come, take 1 grain, also peel it and try a small piece.
So what I learned is that there's many steps to making chocolate. As you saw earlier, it was fermented and cooked. And before this clip, actually, you would pound the cocoa beans in that pot. And here what people are doing are fanning the chocolate. So basically when you pound the chocolate, the shell and the actual inner bit is together, and you don't want the shell. So the best way the locals and back in the day people would do to get rid of the shell is just fan it away, because it weighs less than the actual bean pod itself. And in this clip, people are just having a competition to grind the chocolate to make it that fine powder texture. And from there we made our own chocolate, which was really great. So the next morning we woke up and we visited the Arnell National Volcano Park, which was right by our hotel. So this was bright and early, around 8 or 9 a.m. And this was the final morning of being in the Arnell region. And after this hike, we were going to bus to Monteverde to stay for the following 2 nights. And we just walked across this bridge and saw this beautiful waterfall, which is called Fortune Falls. And we started at the top of this park, and to get the full experience of the waterfall, we hiked about 580 steps down to the base of the waterfall, and then we had to eventually climb up 580 steps. So we definitely got our workout in this morning, and it was absolutely luscious and beautiful, and just truly the Costa Rican jungle that we were all seeking for. And we started out by seeing the base of the waterfall over here. We got to see some interesting wildlife. This was kind of like a Costa Rican peacock to me. I'm not sure the exact name of this bird. After we took photos by the base of the waterfall, off to the edge, you can swim, and it's safe. You can't swim right at the base of the waterfall because the water is so powerful, you'll just be swept under. So there's a little water hole that is to the left of this waterfall, and that's where we ended up swimming, and it was a lot safer. The water was pretty cold this day, so it was hard getting in, but I eventually did get in. Again, though, I didn't film me swimming because I didn't want to damage my phone or camera in the water, but I got some beautiful shots of this waterfall, and it was just absolutely stunning. We ended up hiking back up the 580 steps and heading to our next location. We just finished the waterfall, and now we're walking up 500 steps back to the bus. But it was very beautiful. Swimming in a watering hole, very relaxing but cold. So yeah. After this hike, we ended up driving a few hours to the Monteverde region and stopped by to have lunch, and it was such a beautiful place. It is known to be a cloud forest up in the mountains, so it's usually gloomy and rainy, but I love it. I'm from Seattle, so I'm used to it. And we got to encounter a lot of different unique creatures, such as this animal, which is known to be the Costa Rican version of a raccoon. I think they're cuter than the ones in the United States.
What hurts? What do you do?
After we settled on our rooms, we ended up going on a night hike and just seeing all the wildlife that are living in the forest at night. We were able to spot a couple of kingachus, which sound just like Pikachu, but they're kingachus and they're super cute and adorable. To be honest, I thought this night hike was going to be more of witnessing different mammals, but these were really the only mammals that we ended up seeing, although they were really cute. But for the rest of the night hike, it was witnessing a lot of different insects, such as the first tarantula I've ever seen in the wild, which is terrifying, and then seeing different snakes. So here in this pond, our tour guide was able to find a few different snakes, and then he was able to find a few more which were a bit larger in size, but nothing too crazy and massive. The following day, we were able to explore the Santa Elena cloud forest, which was beautiful. It was so interesting to see how we were just living up in the clouds with this overcast mist and clouds just going into the trees. And we went up to this kind of canopy bridge staircase thing, so we really got to get a good view of the very top of our hike, and then we trekked back down. But this was just a beautiful nature walk. Our tour guide, who works for EF, he really is into the biodiversity and the plants found in this region. There are even orchids in this area that bloom only one day out of the entire year. Although he said it was a light hike, this honestly wasn't a very light hike. It wasn't a crazy hike, but I'd say it was moderate. But that was just kind of a theme with our trip, is that it was just a very high intensity trip. And if you're thinking of doing Costa Rica, it is labeled as moderate on the website for activity level. I would have to argue and say that it should be labeled as high. I even wrote that in the review at the end of the tour. I think if you're just like normal active person, you'll be fine, but it was definitely there's a lot going on. So after hiking, we ended up ziplining. So I didn't get any footage of me actually ziplining because I didn't want to drop my phone. But there's just some pictures. So we got some group photos and then some very attractive photos of me ziplining, which I think just look really funny. But I wanted to commemorate me ziplining in some way or another. And ziplining is honestly one of my most favorite activities to do when I'm abroad. So whenever there's an opportunity to zipline, I am always down. Hey everyone, right now I'm in Monteverde. I'm here for 2 nights and this is the morning after the second night. So I just packed up everything and we're about to go and head down to Punta Arenas region. Yes, that's gonna be more of like beach town vibes. So this place is more forest vibes. So it's been really great doing everything. It's just, I would say, it's been a lot of fun, but it's been really exhausting. I'm like, from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, I'm doing something with people all day long. And it is the complete opposite with like the pandemic situation and me just living at home and working at home. And like, honestly, besides like my family who I live with, I could go like from Monday through like almost the end of Friday without seeing anyone else. Yeah, so this is like quite the 180 and it's a lot, especially for me who's an only child and introverted. I do love all the people that I've been able to meet and just like mixing it up. Today, thankfully, we're not like loading up until 10 a.m., which is pretty late for an EF trip. Usually it's a 6 or 7 a.m. wake up time, and I'm not a morning person, but also you're so exhausted with all the activities you're doing throughout the day that you want to, like, as soon as you get back, you're like out like a light. For Costa Rica, if you're thinking about it, it's labeled as a moderate activity level trip, but everyone here is saying that's not correct. It's definitely a high activity level. Like yesterday was a lot of walking and hiking and it was pretty exhausting, but I mean, I'm so glad I did this. So don't have any regrets about that for sure. That's kind of the update, and I'll show you guys the room. It's really nice. And yeah, so we're gonna go from forest vibes to beach vibes. And then after that, let's see, I think we're just gonna go back to San Jose and that's gonna be the end of the trip. But we have 3 nights in the next destination and I'm still debating. I have a few days, so basically this trip goes from July 15th to July 24th, and then I leave actually Costa Rica on July 27th because that is when my next EF trip starts. And I'm debating if I want to do like a turtle trip up to Tortuguero, which is in northeast Costa Rica, but I've been talking for a long time, so I'm going to show you guys the room. Okay guys, so this is the view of the room. It's very beautiful. As you can see, it's called the Cloud Forest in Monteverde, Costa Rica for a reason. Very lush, very green, jungly, and just clouds all the time. I woke up from my nap and this was like all white with clouds. And then this is the room. I've lucked out so much with my rooming situation. I've had my own room the whole time, which is so nice. And I have my away suitcase. It's a little scuffed up, but overall, I've been really liking it. I even have my initials on here, which is great. And then, yeah, I just have like my backpacks. I have like my backpack I bring as a carry-on, and then I have like my hiking or day bag, which is great. And then that's just a pillow I use on the bus and on the plane. And then the bathroom. So shower, sink in the corner, toilet, and a really nice bath. I was tempted to take a bath. I get kind of weirded out taking baths in like hotels and stuff. So that is the update, kind of a long update, but I wanted to give it to you guys while I have the time, because honestly, I'm either like out and about with people, or I'm like packing, getting ready to leave, or I'm so tired I just pass out, or like in this room at night, the lighting is horrible for filming. I'll see you guys in the next place, Puerto Verde? Now I'm forgetting the names of things. Clearly I have a hard time remembering names. I'm still trying to remember the names of all the people on my tour group. So, I mean, it's like 23 people. So it's kind of a lot of names to remember, but I think I have well over half down. Okay, see you guys later.